remote viewing session, but it's going to be, well, the remote viewing session is going to be just a little bit further into the video because I do need to do some updates first. Now, I've been sort of connecting to the highest order probably for the last 2 days because I'm really working on IIDR50. So let me just quickly log the date and time and everything. Let's get that part done. So we're clocking in exactly 5 p.m. Okay, on December the 11th, 2024. So 12, 11, 24 at 5 p.m. So good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, wherever you are in the world. Hello, and this is IIDR50. Excuse me. Wow. So now, interesting times. So before I really sort of zone into there was an investigation I wanted to do. It's going to be CCMP. That's going to be CCMP. I believe it's 60. Let me just find my notes. Sorry, 50. That will be IIDR. CCMP 69. Is it 69? I had to check, but that's the one that's coming up. I won't be doing it tomorrow because that's like the 1212 portal, which I'm completely going into. I'm going to get some amazing intelligence because I've got so much amazing stuff coming through already that I've got to really connect to that portal tomorrow. Especially because it's like towards the end of the month and the end of the year as well. But a quick brief. There's something coming in to do with Native American women, and I know a lot of people sort of, they use the sort of indigenous people and the indigenous women, but the higher order is not telling me that. I'm just getting clearly and only Native American women. So I'm going to stick with the higher order. I'm not interested in social politics and all that kind of stuff because a lot of stuff changes, language changes. People like to change stuff, but it's okay. You can refer to what I'm talking about however you want to, but I'm going to stick with Native American women. So I'm going to come to that a little bit into the video. It's important. Like I said, because the cold case I want to work on is a young mother. And I believe she went missing in Alaska in 2000s, but it's not just that. There's a 1970s case too that I keep getting pulled to. So I'm going to focus on those. I'll do that this month though, just not tomorrow. But there is something coming through. I wanted to know what, my question to the highest order was, what is with all of the missing Native American women in such a high influx, like so many of them, different age ranges and everything. Now, I know there's a lot of human trafficking and all that stuff, but the higher order was saying, oh, it's more sinister than that. So that's why I'm going to tap in and just give you a quick brief on what I was getting earlier today as well, especially more this morning. But I'm going to try and zone and see if I can get any more on that point, what they were making. They were sort of really, it was weird. And I'm like, okay, well, that's not what I wanted to know. I was hoping it would just be more simple with, when it comes to missing people, but it feels like it's more complex. So it's like, now let me do some updates. CCMP68, this is an update to Hana Kobayashi. As of today, I'm going to read the article too, so you all, if you're not in the loop, I'm going to put you in the loop. I know I did an update video a few days ago. You can watch that one. But as of today, she was, I knew she was alive and she was last seen going, heading into Mexico. But if you're not aware of what's going on right now, there is a statement, I believe it's from, a statement was, oh, hello, okay. Okay. Interesting. I do like spooky stuff. It's a good job, isn't it? Oh my God, okay. Anything else? Because we're active. So, now, the statement was on behalf of her family, and it's basically they're stating, we are incredibly relieved and grateful that Hannah has been found safe. This past, because it was the anniversary of her, I believe, her disappearance a month today as well. So yeah, this past month has been an unimaginable ordeal for our family, and we kindly ask for privacy as we take the time to heal and process everything we have been through. We want to express our heartfelt thanks to everyone who supported us during this difficult time. Your kindness and concern has meant the world to us. And that is on the behalf of Brandy Yee and Sydney Kobayashi. Now, that's good news. I'm glad, because it means the family's made contact with her. I'm going to assume they've all sort of made contact. I can't believe interesting. Well, you know, it's energy, isn't it? So energy is energy. Clearly some energy wants my attention. So apart from the good news is she's found, and now they're going to, and you know, if they're all, hopefully they'll all sort of get together over the Christmas period, and they're going to have to, the healing starts now. They've got to deal with like grief healing and everything. So that healing process starts for them because of the loss of her father too. And it's, you know, it's going to be, it's an incredibly sad and hard time for anybody that loses a loved one at this time of the year anyway. But I'm in one way, I am glad, I'm happy that they've clearly made contact to know enough to know that she's okay. So that's a good update. It's good to get good news, and whatever she's dealing with, or whatever that family is going through, or what she's going through in her personal life, because there's clearly a lot more. I hope that she can get the help that she needs. So, and you know, heal. But whatever else has been going on externally, and whatever, and I still believe she was literally catfished, under, you know, online dating, and probably got catfished, and it happens all the time, that. But I feel that maybe just that was probably push her over the edge, like, oh God, really, you know, anything else, because I don't know, again, because I'm sort of connected to, when I was connected to a frequency, I knew there was a lot more going on. But there's clearly a lot more going on with the family as to why she just needed to get away anyway for over a month without telling anyone anything. That's clearly, you know, okay, hi there. Let me see. Let me just say some highs before I just continue zoning in. So, hi, R-Rated Studios. Hi, and Phyllis. Hello. So, hello, I've got lots of new subscribers. It's amazing. Hello, everybody. So, I am an authentic, well, I'm not normal, which is great. I own that. I am a parapsychologist. I specialize in many areas. But just for those who are kind of new to me, anything you need to know about me, you want to learn what I do, why I do it, you can go to my website, drkarenmakowski.com. Well, hi, Phyllis. I'm happy to see that. Welcome, hello, and welcome. I'll even sing that at some point. But you can go to my website and learn everything you need to know about me. It's drkarenmakowski.com. And I do, like I say, I only have my website and this one YouTube channel only. You won't find me anywhere else. At Butterfly Karen, and multiple playlists. I do many things because I'm not normal. It's great. So I'm one of those incredibly authentic people that own who I am, and I'm not a conformist. But when you learn a little bit more about me, you'll understand why. So I'm all about helping people recondition from the system and all that weird stuff too. So, but I do. One of my main things is parapsychological investigations, which is intuitive intelligence, and I work on cold cases and missing persons cases, but I use my abilities, which we've all got, just don't all know it. So, like I say, I've been tapped into Anna's frequency when she went, you know, like I say, if you go back to my videos, you can sort of see when I started the investigation. The good news was, even then when I was tapped into her frequency, she was on 3D, which means she's alive. And I kind of knew that. Now, just big love to her and her family at this point. Whatever they're going through, I hope they can get through it. And they need to come together, because now, again, they're grieving the loss of their father now. So there's a lot more going on. But I think maybe just people just need to give them that privacy now. So that is the update for Anna Kobayashi. And I do hope they can have some sort of I wish everybody a wonderful Christmas, but I just hope they can come together at least. Now, another update I want to discuss is IIDR. Good Lord, I've got all my notes and I still don't pay attention to them properly. So IIDR49, that was my last video I did, my last live a few days, like 2 days ago, I believe. Oof, that was a heavy one because it was all to do with like life insurance, policy fraud and scam and like weird stuff going on. People taking out life insurance policies on people, and that's just weird shit to me anyway. So obviously, because I was getting the intuitive intelligence from the higher order, I'm like, okay, this is weird, but it felt like something was kicking me in the gut. So it's like, is this something to do with me? So I did what I said I was going to do. I actually called my lawyers yesterday and I was discussing my concerns, but I wanted to get the answers. I wanted to ask questions that many people wouldn't want to because it would make them look and sound paranoid. I don't give a shit about that, right? I don't care. I'm all about doing the right thing, right? So if I have to look like, if I have to be the test subject to try and get the information people need to know about, I don't care about looking like an idiot or looking like a paranoid freak. I don't care, right? If you don't ask the questions, you're not going to know. So I spoke to and I even said to my lawyers yesterday, I don't care if I sound like a paranoid idiot. I don't care. There's something wrong. There's something going on. And I need people to know if this is a thing, especially here in the United States. I don't really know about other countries, but here in the States too, every state has the different laws. So I'm really focused on the Arizona laws here. And like basically my lawyer was saying, it's not as easy as you think it is to just take out life insurance policies on people, because it's more to do, like if you were going to take if you were going to take a life insurance policy out on somebody, right, you would have to, there'd have to be a financial insurable interest, right? Okay. So I thought, okay, we'll keep talking. I don't know everything, and if you don't ask, you're not going to know. So she was explaining that it's usually like, I guess if you was in a business partnership, right, that would be deemed as a financial insurable interest. So I guess your business partner could take out like a life insurance policy on you and vice versa, just in case one of you pops off and you've got to keep the business going. But obviously when you're in marriages, when you're in commitments, it's a little bit different. That's kind of a normal thing here in the US. But you have to go through, she did say to me, look, you have to go through an application process, obviously, because me and my ex-husband did that. And you've got, they need your, they need your consent. And you've got to sign your consent and everything. It's not just, okay, just give me 2 seconds. What was that? Hi, Karen, can you give 5 punches like boxing? Thanks, dear. Just hold that space. I don't want to lose my focus. Well, there's 2. So they do need your consent, obviously, and then it needs to be signed. So my question was, what about insurance fraud? Like, can somebody take it out and just forge your signature? And well, yeah, but that's a felon, right? Okay, well, just keep, okay, thanks for that, Gregory. I hope you got 2 of them at least. But so yeah, apparently you could, but if you're going to commit a felon, that's insurance fraud anyway, and you're probably going to prison. But I kind of aired my concerns because I'm very aware, and because I work with the highest order, it's like, well, I think something's going on with this. And I did a video a few months ago, and I'm still trying to find that one as well. But it was all to do with insurance fraud and underwriters and things like this. And that's why I've not been able to sort of shift away from it, to get away from, why does this keep coming back around? There's something going on with this sort of insurance. So I did pretty much put myself out there to my lawyer and sound like an absolute lunatic, but I just don't give a shit about, right? But the good thing is, if anything like that is going on in my circumstances, like if something dodgy like that is going on, people are doing that against me, well, obviously I'm not gonna stop researching, and I'm gonna do a major deep dive anyway, right? And if I find out, people are going to prison, so I don't care, because I don't tolerate that kind of crap. And I'm not one of those that's going to sit back and no, because this year has been a weird year too, and I've seen some weird deaths as well, and it's like weird, and I don't believe in coincidences. So that's sort of been happening, but now that she said to me, look, there's no real database, because I wanted to know, like, can we find out if someone's taken a policy out on us, like, and hoping that we pass away, or again, I was even discussing, look, we get these, it happens all the time. People have these unaliving, right? Like murder for hire and stuff like that. She's like, yeah, but that will be investigated, Karen. I went, I understand, but it happens. So, and I said, well, how can you find out if someone's taken a policy out on you? And she said, well, there is no real database for that. But I am literally right now, and to be honest, it is hard. You can do it. It would be a case of maybe contacting every single insurance company, maybe here in the US, but that's a lot. But I am going to be filing an MIB. So I'll figure, and I'm not sure if that's a faster way to learn. And I forgot the meaning for the acronym, so that's the acronym, but I'll get the meaning for it too. I had it and it's gone because I've got so much going on. But I want to look into that right now. But I'm also going to do a bigger deep dive too. I'm going to do research. I mean, you can get a private investigator or somebody with authority. I don't know. Probably, I would say more like a private investigator would be okay to really dig in. I mean, they're going to have their resources and everything. And then remember, you're paying them to perform a service, and it's like your lawyers. I don't care how paranoid I sound to my lawyers. They're paid to do a job, right? I don't care about the personal opinions or what they think about me at all. So, so, people do apparently commit false applications, and it's just and then fraud, basically insurance fraud. But it's almost like if you was to find out somebody did take, and they're not connected to you, and they're not even like related or anything, that's incredibly weird. So then you've got to just ask yourself, you would want to get a lawyer at that point and have that person investigated. And you might want to go to the FBI or something like that too, especially if you know, like, why is this person, I don't know, or why is my enemy, right, taking out an insurance policy, because they certainly didn't get my signed permission or my consent or anything. So what is going on there? Then obviously you're going to find out, insurance fraud being committed, and your signature's probably being forged as well. So, and when I was connected to the higher order this morning, it was almost like they were saying to me, a lot of people are freaking out right now. So I don't know. And again, I was discussing that 2 days ago, whether this sort of thing's actually being investigated already. Quite possibly, if the higher order stating now that people are freaking out, and they're probably going to do like moonlight shifts and flits in the middle of the night and do runners and stuff like that. Well, you can't run from the law anyway, but people think they can. There are consequences. So if you're going to commit sort of like this sort of insurance fraud, or you're going to do anything that's insidious against another human being, I mean, there's a price to pay for it, the consequences. So I'm going to continue being a test subject, and I'm going to keep researching and really figuring out what we can get, if there's anything else we can get, if there's any more information I can get, just to put people's minds at rest. I mean, it's peace of mind at the end of the day. So if I can at least give that to some people that might be too afraid to ask what I'm asking, like, I've got this weird, my intuition's telling me something was weird going on, like I don't trust this person, are they plotting to like off me, right? Happens all the time here in the States, right? Especially when marriages fall apart and things like that, and there's huge life insurance policies. So but they might be afraid, like, I can't ask anybody, I can't just talk about this because I'm going to sound like a paranoid lunatic. Well, I don't mind looking like that paranoid lunatic for the people. I'll do that, and I'll do that deep dive. So And what I do, information I do get back, I will bring to the table literally, and then you can use that. Hopefully that will give some people some peace of mind. So that's where I'm at right now. And like I say, and the other reason why I did sort of discuss it with my lawyer as well in detail, just in case something weird is going on against me or being plotted about me. Again, I don't care. I've got enemies. Not my problem. I don't do anything. It's just people are jealous, and that's how it starts. So I just need to grow up, and I really don't care about haters and stuff like that. But just in case, I've also, by discussing it with my lawyers, right, I'm making a record of that for a reason. So if anything just happened to me, well, there's a lot of information for the last 2 years of like weird ID fraud being going. I've been dealing with ID fraud and gang stalking and all that kind of weird shit anyway. I don't care. I don't care about cowards doing stupid gang stalking anyway. I don't care about these people. I live my life. I don't care what they do. Right? None of my business, not my problem. If they intrude on my physical space, well, then I'm going to call the police and hope they're not crooked cops, right? So, but I'm always going to abide by man-made laws. But whatever's plotted and stuff like that, you break into my home, they're going to have to make sure they leave alive, because that's my home. So, and my life is more important than the incessive jealousy and need to hate me. I don't care. And not to mention the fact that I'm a truth speaker, and people like want me to shut up. I don't shut up for anybody, right? That's not going to happen. And I think by now, after like going on 3 years nearly, they probably should know by now I'm not shutting up for anyone or anything, because truth is what helps people. Lies don't. And I'm not a liar. I'm a truth speaker. I'm a truth seeker. And that's how I rock and roll. And I'm not going to stop. So, but that will make me a target for certain types of people. Like, oh, she just needs to shut up. Nope. So, and because of my abilities and things like this, it scares people. That's not my business. I don't care if I scare people. Nobody should need to be scared of me unless you're a dodgy person or you're doing something wrong or you're a criminal. I don't care. You can do what you want. It's your free will. But nobody needs to be afraid of me. I don't hurt anybody. I'm not an intruder or anything like that. I don't do any of that. I follow universal laws and man-made laws. That's it. But the people I deal with, they are criminals. They are little felons and everything. They're just weird people, right? They are the problem people in society. So, but the low vibes. That's it. And they don't like high vibes like me. So just need to get over it. But that's what you deal with. And when you're different and you're weird and you own that and you know who you are and you self-actualize, oh, that annoys people. They don't like that, right? Because they don't know who they are. But they have a problem with people who know exactly who they are. So that's weird too. And again, it comes right, and then you get defamed, slandered, you get, character assassination and all that beautiful stuff. It's like, okay, is that the best you got? Right? So, don't care. None of my business. So, but 3 years, it's like weirdos, they need to get a life. They clearly need to get a hobby because they don't have a life. And if they've got a hobby, it would distract their mind a bit so they've got something productive that they can do, but they don't do that. Now, so I will, like I said, I will continue to do a deep dive into insurance fraud. And it was coming up very prevalent, like life insurance policy, life insurance policies and corruption and fraud, basically scammers. So now, and what's the other update? Because I've got, oh yes, oh people, are you watching the skies right now around the world, especially here in the States? We've got that. So, now, as a parapsychologist and a paranormal investigator and a ufologist and everything, right? I'm all about the skies. I'm all about weird looking stuff. I interact with like multi-dimensional energies on different dimensions, right? So I'm pretty aware of how this world is not as all it seems, but, okay. However, fake sky war, I have been discussing this fake sky war, right, since 2019. Eyes rolling. Well, here it is, right? And please remember, you're not seeing alien spaceships, and it's not an alien invasion, right? These are man-made. These are drones. These are weird-looking man-made objects that were built 60 years ago in the, you know, in the shadows, right? So they can use them. And over the years, over the 60 years, you're talking about they had to fly them to see if they work. They had to experiment with them, right? So they had to put them in the sky. And then when we're looking up going, oh my God, what is that? Oh my God, look at that metallic ball in the sky. What is that, right? So, it's man-made. So that's why it's unidentifiable to us, because they don't look like normal aeroplanes and things like this. So anything that doesn't look like what we're used to seeing, that our minds are programmed to see, and things like this, anything's going to look abnormal and weird and unidentifiable. So because of the entertainment world and Hollywood, the way we've been Hollywoodly programmed and things like this, we automatically think, oh my God, the aliens are coming. The aliens have never left. So, but I'm not going to get into that. I do a lot of different videos so you can understand the sort of like different energies. Energy comes in different species. It's not just us. So, but I don't want to infringe on people's beliefs right now. And not just that, I'm just sort of doing updates, but this is going to be prevalent through December. Look, I knew when Congress started doing the disclosures again over a month ago, as soon as they started talking, and I'm like, oh God, here we go. Oh, it's just predictive programming. They're just telling you to expect more weird stuff in the skies, right? But when you understand the system and what's wrong with this world and who controls it and all this kind of stuff, you're going to understand too why they need to be to cause these distractions, why they don't want January's inauguration to happen, right? But I've always said in 2019, they're going to save the fake UFO, but the fake Sky War for the last event to hopefully re-enslave us all, because the majority has been waking up since 2020, and that's the collective effort. So, and that's what's caused all these shifts. So you just need to have an open mind about this. But if you start seeing weird stuff in the sky, don't be freaking out and going, oh my God, the aliens are invading us and they're going to kill us. No, you start getting hit with beams and things, and they start attacking us with that. That's men and women attacking us. And they're drones. That's humans attacking us. That's not aliens. Because I will say this right now as a intuitive intelligence that I was getting because of this crap, right? I don't believe this, even as a ufologist and a parapsychologist and just very understanding how this world works. We are not going to have to deal with a sky war, with other. We've been dealing with interdimensional wars for centuries, right? With like reptilians and lower level species, right? We've been dealing with this for millennia. So we've always had an interdimensional war. It's never ended. But they're creating something they can take credit for. So when they send up all of their tax-paid objects that they've been building for over 60 years, and then they send them in the sky, and then they do all this crazy stuff, and they're going to send in the Air Force. Oh God, it's embarrassing because I can already see it coming and everything. When they start sending the Air Force in, people are going to go, oh my God, we humans just saved us. We're amazing. No, it's the humans that try to just annihilate you. Ooh. But that's the evil peoples, the problem people. So who have completely lost power. They've lost, you talk about the whole cabal system and everything, right? They've completely lost, and this is their last-ditched attempt to hold on to the tiniest, minutest, tiniest dribs of power that they've got left that they've lost, right? But this is, I've always said this is one of their finale. And it's going to just, do what I'm going to do when it really kicks off in the skies. I don't really drink anymore, but if I decide, I might have a glass of wine tonight and watch the show, just look at it like a Hollywood movie. Treat it like that and you'll be fine. Just, stay indoors if you can though, because I don't trust human behavior. Well, not these evil creatures anyway. So, in human form. So, right now, it feels like it's ramping up. And like I say, it was almost soon as Congress started doing the whole like disclosures again, I was like, oh, here we go again, more crap in the sky. But you know, as a parapsychologist and an investigator, I'm going to be like, I'm going to be watching the skies every night, but I don't really need to. Now, here's what we do need to know. If you've got an open mind at this point, what is coming is a, I don't know when, I don't do dates. Oh, here we go. Throat chakra. Just give me a moment. So, in the very near future, I don't have dates. The closest I've got to dates when it comes to my prophecies and things like this and intuitive intelligence is like July, when I knew Trump was going to get assassinated, right? Or an attempt and all that kind of stuff. But I put that out, like I say, in June. So I gave a month of intelligence, right? But that's the closest I'm going to get when it comes to what I get to see and know what's coming and things like this. I don't give specific dates because you've got to understand the timelines are constantly changing. Energy is constantly shifting. So it's not possible. The dates and times can change just like that in seconds. I mean, remember, this is just time is man-made anyway. Oh, excuse me. But that's why I don't like to give dates. But when it comes to, if I get months, like I was getting all year, like 20th of, is it November the 20th? Oh God, and I even put it out there going, something's going to happen on the 20th of November. Well, it turns out it was for me. So, but I put it out to the collective just in case to prepare for them for something. But it turns out it was good news for me. And then I was shown and I got the message that was, and it was huge. And I'm like, okay, this is amazing. So the message was actually for me and not for the collective. But that doesn't mean I always forget too when I'm channeling and things like this, messages there's going to be stuff coming in for the collective too. I'm just going to put my light on because it's getting a little bit dark now, isn't it? Just be right back. Okay, so let me just get back in. There you go. Hi. Right, so I don't like to do dates, and usually when I'm sort of listening to people doing their videos and they're giving out dates and things like this, I won't do that, right? Because again, energy is shifting, and when energy is moving and shifting constantly, that alters destined timelines and things like this. So it's not possible to be exact. Now, I've been seeing this, good Lord, I've been seeing this kind of stuff now for over 4 years. Well, yeah, 2020 all sort of started like online and really sort of seeing the the crazy side of that. Okay, here we go. Whenever there's truth speaking, it's like, energy wants to attack me, that chakra. We'll work with it. So, now, real extraterrestrials. This is where you're going to need an open mind. And again, you just need an open mind for me before anything else. So when we do, in the future, there is going to be an interaction, right? With a lot of people understand starseed families and things like this, right? And if you're sort of new to any of this, you're not really going to know what I'm talking about. But if it's not part of your belief system either, you're not really going to probably believe it, and that's perfectly okay. You just need an open mind. And I'm not going to infringe on anybody's belief systems or anything like that. But what I have been foreseeing for years now, and especially and I know it's coming, I just don't know when, and I don't have a day. And even if I did have a day, I would not give it because it can change. Is there's going to be a human interaction anyway with multi-dimensional, extraterrestrial, interdimensional beings that they've always been here. It's kind of understanding your true DNA. You'll understand where you truly come from. But again, I'm not going to infringe. This is just my stance and my professional and personal beliefs on this. That's all. So, but they are benevolent. They are not your lover. They're not your reptilian scum that control the world. They are not part of your Anunnaki or anything like that. They're not your lower vibrational You can't have one without the other. You know, it's weird how society is like, oh yeah, we know about the, you know, the Anunnaki and the reptilians, because that's programmed into us through Hollywood and stuff like that. But they never show you. Hollywood will never show you the good ones, the good side, the duality of that, because they don't want you being familiar with the good ones, because they want you fearing this crap. So if you understand what runs your governments and what's been running everything, right, the system for, again, for too long, thousands of years, you're talking this scum, this like low level species. That's all. So it's coming to the point now where it's do you know what it feels like as well? The majority, like the most of the population now, globally, there was at one point, I would say, up until about 10 years ago, the people that believed in aliens, UFOs again, just like unidentified aerial objects and things like that, a lot of it's man-made, right? Some of it's not. I only focus on the 5% that can't be logically explained, right? That's my field of it, where I like to really take my brain and everything, but the 95%, I ignore it because it can be logically explained, mechanically, environmentally, and everything. So, but I would say there was probably like 32% of the population believed in the possibility of extraterrestrials, right? And, you know, over years and years, like decades and decades of documentaries and things like that, that's helped people open their minds a little bit more to understand. Then obviously if you've been sort of like abducted and things like that, it's a completely different ball game for those people. But you know, because it's physically, it's obvious, it's there. You know, they can't prove it though. That's the thing, and that's not the thing about parapsychology. It can't be proven or disproven. But you can add your 2 cents and stuff, but it's not going to make you true and me wrong or vice versa. But it's just you got to have an open mind for all of this. So I believe like between 32 and 36% of the population believed in something. After 2020, I'm not quite sure what. I mean, we all know what happened in 2020, but I think when every single person around the world got locked down against their will, right? Everybody had too much time on their hands because they were less busy. And, you know, everything's part of a plan, but there's always an insidious plan, but then there's always the duality of that. So it's like it kind of went against what their agenda backfired, because what happened was the people had a lot of time on their hands, right? So they started researching, they started reading, they started looking into more, and then broadened their horizons and opened their minds. And then once they opened their minds and awakened a little bit, they couldn't go back to sleep. So it was like there was a huge awakening shift in the whole collective. And now, since 2020, they've been trying to put everybody back to sleep, but that's not happened, because now you're talking about 53% of the population now believe in ETs, extraterrestrials, at least 53%, right? That's amazing in such a short space of time when you think about it. That's amazing. That's a high jump too. So it's almost like the majority of the population now is ready for an interaction of something. And the moment that the whole collective is ready, they're going to come. But they're not going to come in spaceships. They're going to come through vortexes. So what I was sort of being shown was how they were going to come and everything. And it's like, oh, God. Oh, yes. Right? Like that. I was excited and everything. So, but I don't know when that's going to happen. But it's only going to happen, again, when the majority of the minds are ready. And once we've got rid of that man-made fear that is fed into us through programming and everything, that's when we'll be, hello there. So I'm excited and looking forward to that day, but I can't speak for anybody else. So don't be worrying about the fake skywalk. And like I say, if you see weird stuff happening in the sky, just go indoors, right? And just other than that, just look at it like a Hollywood movie, Hollywoodized anyway. So it's a fake skywalk. It's going to be a fake skywalk. Now, how insidious and how evil they decide to go with that, time will tell. And, you know, if they inflict absolute carnage on people, they're done. I mean, they're already done anyway, but that is like that's like the last genocidal attempt ever. So, but I don't think it's going to get to that. I think they're just like trying to scare us. You don't need to be fearing anything at all. And don't fear. That's what's programmed and mind controlled into the majority of the people, unfortunately. So, but again, there's a lot of information coming out. See, over the past, I would say since 2020, and I've seen it and I've researched it and watched it myself. So a lot of people have been hidden in the shadows, especially when, I mean, not many people do what I do anyway, but but when you sort of had to do what I do as a messenger and things like this, and then you're in this field, you know, I'm a doctor in this field, it's like, I've always been there, but not on the scale of people on the internet. No way. No, absolutely no way. That's not how that works, because a lot of people are hidden in plain sight for a reason, but they're sort of cloaked and everything, because you've got to understand the evil system and who controls it and the types of people they want to shut up, like, completely, right? So, but there are some that can't be touched as well, and they know that. So what I've sort of seen is the amazing side of, since 2020, I've seen the amazing side of the internet, of people coming out, doing what they do, talking to people, explaining this is what's coming, this is what these, I'm a messenger, and this is the messages. And that's fantastic, because they've been up in the collective minds and they've been helping the collective unplug themselves from the matrix system and things like that. So, but then you've got the negative side of that. You've got these charlatans and these fakes all over, and I've watched this and I've been researching it, and it's like, oh God, no wonder those that are really the real deal get a bad name, because they're the wrong ones, right? So they've been out there reiterating everybody else's information and intel and tweaking it to make it look like they've created it or they've got it. And all that is for views and likes and money, monetary purposes. So, and that's caused a lot of people who are in the midst of waking up, right, confusion, because they're like, well, I don't know what to believe now. I don't understand anything because it's all confusing. So now they're not using discernment and they're not critically thinking. And that's the negative side of idiots online doing that kind of stuff. And they're not authentic at all. They're not even original in anything. It's not their intel, it's not their work. They're using other people's and just redistributing it and remaking videos and redistributing other people's, basically, in some ways. Like I mean, when you think of, I mean, a lot of everything I do is copyrighted anyway, but intellectual property, stealing people's intellectual property and like remaking it and redesigning it and retweaking it and redistributing it and reiterating it, all for views and money. Oh yeah, there's so that's been the negative side of that. And every single one, you can always tell too, because the real ones won't really give you dates, and if you do, you've got to, you know, the real ones, it's like, well, you know, not to give specific dates, because you know that's not how the universe works and the world works and the you know, timelines work either. So you can give an idea, like, well, I think like with me, especially, like I say, I'll just use Spies in the Skies and Donald Trump as an example of that video. Like, oh, something big's going to happen with a very important, I couldn't even name drop him that time anyway, I didn't have the authority. But the updated video, I went to town, like, oh my God. But I made it very obvious that I was talking about him and everybody around him and everything. So again, it's like, I got July 2024, so I knew, and I could see everything that was happening, and it was like, oh God, who do I tell? So it's hard for somebody like me. It's hard for the real ones, because they are overshadowed by the fakes and the charlatans, unfortunately. So that's been really annoying to watch over these last sort of 4 years. Yeah, last 4 years especially. But they've been putting out dates, and they've been the ones going, oh, the quantum financial system's coming next week. Yeah, it didn't, did it? Right. Oh my God, the med beds are coming. The med beds are going to be here. And they never came, did they? Oh, we're going to be seeing videos of Gitmo prisoners, and the Gitmo, you know, they're all the deep state, they've all been arrested. Did you see any of them? No. Every single one of these people offered nothing but crap, right? Without any solutions, any substance, and any proof. So that's where people were like, oh, stuff's happening. Basically, they were delivering false hope. You don't deliver false hope. It's bad enough that people are losing hope anyway, but when you're distributing false hope to people so you can get views and make money, you're like human pieces of shit. That's my opinion on those people. I don't like that. I don't watch them. I don't listen to them. And when I had to watch them, it's like for research purposes. Like, really, did you seriously just say that? Okay, we got, right, that's fine. Well, next Wednesday we'll see them, won't we? And then when nothing happens, it's like, you're a moron. And I just wish to God people, the majority of the people, could sort of like see that and just go, okay, or ask, where's the evidence? Where's the proof? I can't prove I can give you my predictions. I can give you my prophecies, right? And when they come to pass, what they've been doing all freaking year, that's the evidence. This is my laboratory. So that's the only way I can do what I do. But these people are offering nothing at all. And at least when I go into town and when I do my videos and things like that, I'm also offering solutions and how to get around the intelligence that's coming through and how to avoid weird stuff, right? That's what I do. These people don't do that. And these people make a lot of money and all that kind of stuff. They sell a lot of like merchandise and books and all kinds of stuff, right? But they don't offer evidence. Because a lot of what they're predicting, it can't be proven or disproven. It's not evidence. You can't always prove it. So it's like, hang on a minute. Hello there. Now, the other stuff they are talking about, which apparently is happening behind closed doors and behind the scenes and stuff, okay, well, stop giving dates then. Because when nothing happens, you look like an idiot. You look like a fool and you look like a charlatan or whatever it is you're selling. But it's really bad because I don't like that because it gives people false hope. And I don't like false hope. If you're going to empower people, you give them hope and you give them truth. You don't give them lies and you don't give somebody, don't give them other people's work. That's just theft, right? So that's just talentless people, but that's just my opinion on that. And what I've noticed over the last 4 years is seeing these people just go viral. And it's like, you've gone viral for like discussing, oh God, you've gone viral by using other people's work. Just basically, that's mind-blowing, right? Just basically repeating what everybody else is talking about. That's it. These are the types of people that have gone viral. And that is what's caused false hope. Now, let's just be logical, right? Med beds. I hope I'm all for the concept. I hope I hope they really are a real thing and I hope it's true. However, you seriously think a big pharma is going to allow that without fight? You seriously think that big pharma is going to be like, med beds that are going to heal people completely from inside out, right? Fantastic. And then they don't need our pills anymore, and they don't need our medications, and they don't need our poisons. You seriously think they're going to allow that to happen, those med beds to come in without a fight, which is clear what they could be doing. However, let's go to the other side of that. Big pharma, right? $1 trillion industry. They're going to be like, how can I get my cut from these med beds? How can we get a piece of that pie? Of course they are. So if it was real and they were really here, right? The big pharma would be like, we've already got our piece of the pie. Yes, let's start distributing so we can make billions. Oh God, right? Logic and reason tells me I'll believe that crap when I see it. So that's with the med beds. Do we want it? Yeah. Is it possible? Of course, anything's possible. However, again, discernment needs to kick in. Bit of critical thinking. Ooh, a med bed that can apparently there's so many things it can do, like completely alter. Well, can they alter you now? Well, I don't know, because it's like apparently they can just like heal you from inside out, tissue and everything, and like grow limbs and everything. It's like, and you seriously think big pharma's not going to want to be on that? You see, if I would like, again, I can always go into the mind of a wrong one, right? Or think like on the dark side of people if I need to, just to like logically explain to people why I need to really like critically think. If I fought like an evil, twisted person and I wanted to go into the minds of Big Pharma, I would have had a piece of that medbed pie probably like 50 years ago when they were apparently building them or designing them, at least. So, so that's why I don't really sit where I like to see physical proof. If you're talking about a physical object and a physical thing that's being built, I'm going to need to see the physical proof of that. And until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. Because again, it's weird how people keep giving out this false hope. But if you don't have anything to back up the information you're delivering, that's where you've got to be careful, because that's where you can accidentally do harm to people's minds. Especially when people are like, oh God, I really need this med bed. Can you imagine, think about all the really sick people in the world who were like, oh God, med beds, right? If it's not true, you're fed a fault. These are fed false hope and have lied. And I don't like liars. And you don't help anybody with lies. So if you don't know for sure, just don't go there, right? Unless, of course, you want views and money and you don't have any integrity, then yeah, go for it. And that's kind of what they do anyway. So then when you go to, and all I've heard for the last 4 years is, oh, there's all these like executive arrests, all these big arrests and blah, 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 blah. Well, yeah, we know, right? Because some are finally getting arrested. It's called karma. But the ones that are in the public eye, well, of course, it was inevitable. You know, you're not going to get away with what you're doing for, like, you know, can't do crimes against humanity for a long time without paying the piper. You're going to have to pay the price for it at some point, right? That's just justice when justice comes around. But telling people, oh yeah, they've all been hung up in Gitmo, they've all been shot, and it's like, have they? Can you prove it? Well, no, it's what I heard. Oh, shut up. No, that's like gossip. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in anybody telling me about this kind of stuff, right? If you're not bringing me a video that I can analyze too, to make sure it's not being, you know, fabricated or manipulated by AI or like deep fakes and stuff like that. If you can't show me a video of actual proof of these evil creatures in human form getting hung, right, in Gitmo, I'm not interested in listening to it, because again, discernment, but my critical thinking mind is going to be like, oh, okay, can you prove that? No, okay, well, come to me next time when you can show me proof of that. Otherwise, I'll wait. Like, we're waiting anyway. So I just thought, you know, that's been annoying for like 4 years, and that's still, and now it's almost like these same types of people are running out of shit to talk about. Oh, so now they're reiterating that stuff from like 2 years ago, really ramping it up right now. Like, yeah, it's like, okay, still not producing the proof, am I? Oh, it's so annoying. It's annoying when you've got half a brain and you're intelligent, and you think intelligently as well, and it's like, okay. And then you try and help people understand this, but they don't want to hear it. They're just like, well, no, I think it's true. Okay, it's great to think like that, but I don't think like you. I think with physical evidence. So, and I'll believe it when I see it. And I urge people to just maybe go back to that way of thinking for the time being, because I don't like that false hope stuff. So that's been a problem. I'm going to come back to, where's the other one? Okay. Yeah, no, it's everything. So yeah, discernment is really important right now. And that, again, this has been happening since 2020. And it's weird as well. And I'll tell you what's been incredibly weird and watching is the fact that a lot of these people that went viral are no longer active on. It's almost like, well, we've got our wealth and now we're going to tot off now and we don't care. And like, okay, we've got everybody's money and everybody's like, you know, we've altered their minds a little bit and okay. But now they're non-existent. I don't even see or hear about these people anymore. It's like, really? Awesome. Oh, God, no. That sort of stuff, I think, is going to be huge. It's going to change in that societal programming. It's embarrassing, but I think that's going to change in the future. I do. So my logical mind, when I keep hearing the same or reiterated stuff over and over again by different people, bollocks. I just treat it like bollocks right now, right? I want to see it. I want proof of something. Not articles, not to tell me to go here, and then all I'm reading, when I do open it, is like, blah, 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 blah. Okay, being arrested. Okay, well, where's the proof of the arrest? I mean, Whereas, but again, it's not even that. That's not what they're delivering. They're delivering, like, they're talking about Gitmo prisoners and things like this, and and then when I go to the higher order, go, can I get some clarity on that? It's like, we're not. No, you're not getting that idiotic intel. We're going to give you the real intel, right? That people really need to know. So don't be focusing on that crap, little lady. You need to focus on what we give you, and then what the intel I get, I put it out there, and within a month or two, it all actually happens and comes to pass. Then there's your freaking evidence, right? That's the best I can do, but at least it's not. It's annoying, but free will and all that beautiful stuff. Now, again, a lot of the stuff when you're looking at my intuitive videos and my different dimensional videos from the beginning of the year, because I knew 2024 was going to be a whacked out year. Oh God. Oh la la. And it has been. But there's been a lot of the intel. It's all been happening. It's all been coming. And it's all been, I've had to get all the information in the intel in sequential order too. So when you sort of start from 5D, 6D, 7D, and then the dates in sequential order, you'll see how it's all manifested. More information's come through from the last one, but then I do my update videos and I can tell you exactly what happened. And so, and then it's right there. It's obvious, but again, when you do what I do, it's incredibly hard to prove. So you've got to be very careful about how you put out the intel too, but I've still got to go with the truth of it. Like, I don't deliver lies, I deliver truth. But it's up to people to decide, okay, well, this just sounds way too out there and too whacked out for me. I'm not interested. That's okay. That's the beautiful thing about free will. You can believe in what you want and all that kind of stuff. But it's not a bad thing to have the knowledge just in case. That's all. So, yes, let me have a look quickly. Yeah. So, before I quickly connect to the higher order again, I do want to quickly, speaking of this sort of like fame and this weird online fame, I do know it's going to alter, because there's going to be different types of people in the future, in the very near future, are going to be going viral, and they're going to be really popular. Like, not this talentless crap, right? The people that should have been, that needed to have been popular in the people's view for a good Lord all along, have not been able to. And it's not just like because they don't have many subscribers as many people. No, there's different reasons for that. But those people, those that have been last, are now going to be going fair. So all the talentless crap you see now is going to change. All the people that help people, the right types of people with real talent, real authenticity is going to be huge in the future. So they're the ones that are going to hit the global stages in the future big time. And I've already sort of been shown that anyway. And then I believe it was like 2 weeks ago. Well, part of the information I got on the 20th of November, the message from me it was kind of cool, but I had to prepare for it, because when they were showing me going viral in 2025, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool, right? I've been working God knows how long. It's about bloody time, one of those. But it was different. It wasn't just sort of like YouTube viral. It was just global. I'm like, oh shit, I've got to get ready for that, right? So, but that's it. I'm not going to change who I am. So I got shown to be ready, and I was told this is what is going to come in this order, and it's already started as well. But it's going to come in this order, and this is what's going to happen. And I actually got shown this. The first time I got shown all of this was in my Jeremiah NDE in 2018 anyway. And then they just sort of like refreshed me on the 20th of November, because of how far I've sort of been, how much I've been working hard and what I've been doing and how far I've come. And it's like, okay, I'll keep going then. And then they showed me what else was coming in the next steps of it. And I'm like, oh God, I've got to let my family know. So 2 weeks ago, I had to get on, I was like video chatting my sisters, and I couldn't get a hold of the whole family. And I said, look, I need you need to know now I'm probably going to go big this next year, and I just don't know when. Again, I don't like dates, and I don't like to work with dates, but I'm going to go big from 2025 onwards. So I just need the family to be prepared for it, so it's not like, so it just doesn't freak them out, because it could happen overnight. So I gave them as much as I was getting, and I couldn't go into too much detail anyway. And that was kind of nice, but I had to all I wanted to do at that point was just let my family know, look, you're just, this freaking face and everything is going to be right out there, whether you like it or not. So that's going to be happening from next year. And again, I've already taken sort of like steps and all of that beautiful stuff too, but it's important, because next year, like, I knew 2024 was going to be, I knew 2024 was going to be, Carmageddon, that kind of stuff. But 2025, it is complete rebirth. Like, we've completely shifted from the third to the fifth dimension anyway, right? And again, to understand dimensions, no two people's stance or their experiences on dimensions is the same. So somebody can have completely different experiences on different dimensions. So you can watch my stance on dimensions video for that. I go into more detail. So so we've completely shifted the consciousness anyway into the fifth dimension, which we needed to, and that's a collective effort. That's the collective. That's the majority. Again, I'm right up there with that 52. At least 52% of the population have actually shifted their consciousness into the fifth dimension. So, which is necessary. We need that, because that's going to help push forward the remainder of the population. But so a lot of stuff is what's been happening over these last sort of 4 to 5 years. With people that are the genuine ones, the authentic ones, the real deals. Those are the ones that are going to hit the global stages from 2025 onwards. These charlatans and fakes, you're not even going to hear their names. Like, you're going to be like, okay, all right, I think I've heard of that name. It's going to be like that. That's not a legend in the making, is it? Right? No. You see, what's happened is we've come away, I would say, for the past 30 years. We stopped creating legends. We stopped putting the legends out there, because the mind control and brainwashing and the disgusting Hollywood crap, right, entertainment industry, was not designed really. Back in the day it was. You got amazing legends out there. We had great legends. They're all dying off now, right, because they're all old anyway. But we've had nothing. We've had no legends for the past 30 years. I don't listen or watch half the crap that comes out. I'm not programmed. So, because it's all talentless crap, in my personal opinion. I don't think the acting's great. They can't even create any new original material that they're having to remakes. They're constantly remaking. That's not progress, is it, right? So that's what I'm saying. That's just one area where the legends have dying out, and so what we've had to endure for the past 30 years is talentless crap in human form. But because of how they look and how they're manufactured and all that kind of stuff, that's what's seduced people. And when you understand the brands and merchandise and how when people like make these people rich and famous, they're not even good at what they do, right? Most of them are lip syncing as well, and a lot of it's AI. But that's going to annoy a lot of people in the future to know a lot of who they've been worshipping, empty vessels. Can you imagine what that's going to do? It's going to hurt people, right? Because well, where's our money gone that we're being... In the future, they're going to be putting the legends, the true legends in the making are going to be the ones that are going to be on the forefront on the global stages in the future. Once the old crap's gone, the old system's done, people with real talent, real artists, real musicians, with real talent in any area of your who you are and what you are and true authenticity, those are going to be the legends, and those are going to be the ones people are going to be looking up to. So that's what we've got to look forward to, definitely from 2025 onward. Oh la la, throat chakra. So that's amazing. We need to move forward that way. We need to get away from this talentless crap, right? Because most of it's fake. It's not even real. So to understand that. Now I've covered all of those updates. So yeah, I'm looking forward to 2025 onwards, obviously. But I don't get me wrong, I'm a little bit nervous. Okay, Roletta. Hi, Roletta. So let me just do some quick highs here. Just want to say hello. I'm not ignoring any of you. It's just when my little mouse running, I had to just sort of get everything out before I forget. But so yeah, 2025 is going to be a great year for the legends in the making and all the original people. And that's the other thing I wanted to quickly cover. Right. Oh, hello there. Numbers. Over the past 5 years, no, I'm going to say 4 years, right? And this is because you see, when you do what I do and someone like me, I get sent to people. Where are you here in the United States? Arizona. Are you here in the Roletta? I was going to say United States with it. Roletta, are you here in the United States? And if so, where are you? So, I'm in beautiful Arizona. I always get sent to people every day. I cross paths with people. Oh, Massachusetts. I like Massachusetts. I've got a friend in Massachusetts. You're New England. I'm Old England. But I did live in, I spent some time living in hard-hitting New Britain in Connecticut at one point. But Massachusetts, beautiful, especially this time of the year when the colourful, when the autumn blooms. Ooh la la. So I get sent to people every day. I cross paths with people because I get sent to people to help them. Right? I've never not done that. Right? I just do it. I just do it. I love doing it more now. But over the past 4 years, I'm going to say really last 4 years, I've had to cross paths with this. I believe there's like 5 influencers, 5 well-known people, influencers. Right? I don't like using the term celebrities because I just don't. Right? Because I don't worship human beings, not in that way. Right? We should be worshipping ourselves before we worship anybody else, because that's where your self-love and self-actualization comes from, worshipping oneself first, then externally. But these influencers, I had to cross paths with them to give them messages, and that's exactly what I did. It was brief encounters, but what they were meant to do was recognize what was the message, because the higher order was saying, look, we sent you to 5 of them, right, in different parts of the country and everything. And I had to travel to them, and that's the most annoying thing too, is like when I have to cross paths, when I get sent to someone, I have to go to them. So there was 5 that they're on the stage, I'm not going to name drop them here, but I was sent to them for a reason, so they could get the messages that I took to them anyway, but to exchange interactions and information. But these people, right, all 5 of them, unfortunately, it was a test. They failed the test because they thought they were too big to talk to somebody like me. They thought they were too well known. They thought they were too. It's the unhealthy ego. They thought they were not better. That's not the right word. Because I'm not up there virally, right? And to them, I'm a nobody, but they've lost grounding. Okay. Basically, what happened is they were tested. And, the worst part was they knew they were being tested. They knew they were tested, but they failed the test. By the time the test came to them, they failed the test. Quite sad, right? But that's not my job to tell them, by the way, this is your test. I went to them across paths and I gave them messages. But the test that they failed was, well, one was the unhealthy ego, but it was it was more to do with Again, not so much thinking that they're better or anything like that. It was more, they didn't recognize. Every single one of them was asking the Most High, the Divine, right? Oh, hello, Hikmat. They were asking the questions to their guardians or the gods or whoever they worship, right? I'm ready to be tested. I need to know. Send me a message. Send me a messenger. Send me a sign, right? And then I'll know what direction I'm supposed to go in, and I'll know what I need to do, because I'll know when I see it or when it gets sent to me. They all failed the test. So I always know I'm going to be crossing paths, and once I get there, it's like, oh God, here we go. And I usually know like weeks before anyway. But once I got there, they completely failed. They completely failed the test, all of them. And it's really sad, because they just thought, well, she can't be the test. She can't, her information can't be what I want, because she's a nobody. That attitude. Because they thought I was a nobody, right? That's okay. Maybe I am. I don't care. I don't give a shit about that kind of crap, right? But on the etheric realm and what I do, that is not on the 3D, it's more on the multi-dimensions. Oh, I'm a hell of a lot higher than them. I rank higher than them, right? But they're more focused on the 3D, this fake reality, right? That's what they got seduced by. So the test was to show them, like, you need to get back on you've lost you're losing grounding. It's too much ego. Is like you're just a bit of an ego death, right? So I don't particularly like being that sort of messenger, and I don't particularly like having to want to do the catalyst sort of, because that's normal. That's been part of my life all along. I've always done that. But I go there just like me, no different. I just like I let people know who I am, what I do, why I do it, and I'm that's it. There's no fake shit with me. What you see is what you get, but you can talk to me about anything and all that kind of stuff. But they look down on me. And because of that, all of them, well, that's really sad, because you shouldn't be looking down on anybody. And that's when people start to lose grounding of, it's okay when you know who you are and you know, right? You own it. But you don't start looking down on other people. You don't start thinking you're better than anybody else, right? At all. That's not how you help people. But that's what happens when the ego kicks in a little bit. So it was almost like I was sent to give them a little bit of a, hey, egomaniacs, get back on track, right? You've got a job to do. So it was one of those. And now it's like what they were supposed to do is interact with me, whether they want to do it on their public stages. They were supposed to interact with me, right? But they didn't, because they thought they were better than me. They thought they were too big for me. That's probably the right word. Well, that's fine, because from 2025 onwards, when I do go global and big, which I already know it's happening, and you can come back to this and test my theory, right? Every single one of those are going to want to interact with me on their public, and now it's like, no. So that's sad for them, but that's what happens when you fail the divine test. When you're a true messenger, hi Fall. Let me just say some highs here. That's a hey, hi Fall. When you are on your path and you work for the divine, or you're on a divine path, or you're a starseed, or you're a messenger, or whatever it is that you do, you know you're constantly getting tested, and you know when you're on path. And if you start diverting, but you start adopting that unhealthy ego, you're going to get it tested. And then the divine is going to, or the supreme divine is going to send a little catalyst in, and you better be able to recognize that catalyst, because that is your test. And if you fail it, you're going to drop down a few levels, or you're going to lose most of your ranking, especially if you're working on the higher realms. Oh, hell, I've seen it. I've not stopped seeing that happen to people. And it's not nice. It's not nice to witness, but it's like, well, you lost ground and come back to this. Even though you've adopted this fake reality, this fair dimensional reality, you've got to come back down to the reality of get back on your path, basically. So that being said, so yeah, the last 4 years, and it's nice because I'm discussing this now by the end of the year, That's kind of why December is important, and I'm doing more lives in December. Well, only lives, but from 2025 onwards, no, there's going to come a point where they're going to go, oh shit, I ignored that one. Oh, she was the test, and I failed the effing test. And it's like, yeah, ciao, ciao. Do not call me now, right? Because you're not going to get me on your platform or your stage then, right? Because if you're not good enough if you can't treat people in that way when they're apparently a nobody, or that's your mind thought process, then you don't deserve them when they're at the highest level. So that's kind of what's been happening over the last 4 years. And that's pretty sad to sort of witness too, but it's like, well, you know, it's not, I came, I did my mission, I left a message, and then I tossed it right off, and oh well, did what I was supposed to do. So that's what it's like when you're a real messenger. So, and then when you do work for the highest order as well, you know, you don't worry, you don't fear the wrath of man or woman, you fear the wrath of the Most High, right? That's the only thing you fear. So you've got to make sure you pass your test and you do things the right way. But you've got to speak the truth. You've got to deliver the truth. And what type of messenger you are, as long as you're delivering the truth, that's all that's important. You can't be diverting off because you're worried about validation from other people or what other people think. Oh, no, you've got to get rid of that crap. I guess that's the thing. You can't be caring what people think. It's none of the business. It's none of your business. So now, before I've got to reconnect now quickly because I need to connect to the highs. I just need to reconnect to the higher order because these Native American women that keep going missing, they've been going missing, a lot of them, yeah, since like the 1960s. But when you're talking about the sort of like Native American, about the reservations and the communities, clearly there's something going on in the reservations too. But externally from the reservations, there's something wrong. There's something insidious. It's not just kidnapping, trafficking, sex trafficking, crossing paths with a psychopath or anything like that, or like sort of domestic violence deaths and all that kind of stuff that happens in. This is different. Okay, let me. Okay, there's my right. Just me 2 seconds because my dimensional door is like screaming at me. So I'm just going to quickly go through this and then because now I'm hitting on the intel I need. I get more clarity. Okay, right. It's something to do with, right, it's to do with land. Oh, this is going to annoy bad, evil people. Bloodlines. It's to do with bloodlines. Bloodlines is everything. Now, the bloodlines from, I don't know, I don't know a lot of Native American history. Not as much as I should, obviously, but so I don't know what back in, let me think about when the white man stole their land here in America, and then they put them, they sent them, they had to go to create these reservations, they had to go onto these reservations. So it's like what the higher order is saying is, back then, maybe from the 1700s, there was like treaties. Oh God, look right. So I don't know if this can be confirmed by the elders within the chiefs within the Native American communities. Maybe they knew something from their ancestors that there was land treaties created where they had to, I don't know, right, okay, I'm going to go with it because it's coming in, but whether this is historically true or whether we don't even know this. But what I'm getting is, there was this treaty made from the ancestors that for a period of time, along, you know, they would have to remain on the reservations and they'd have to give up the land, the majority of the land, right? But after a certain period of time, oh God, a period of time, okay, I'll just keep it coming. It's really hard to explain this period of time. After a period of time, the land would go back to the legitimate bloodlines, which is the Native Americans, right? But on the reservations, but they had to remain on these reservations. I would like to be, well, I don't know if they don't even know if this is true or not. This is what I'm getting from the higher order. If this is true, this is evil. Because what it is as long as they stay on the reservations, after a period of time, the legitimate bloodlines would regain the land, which is the whole United States of America. This is where we're at. And then, but you've got to remember, women are the ones that bear the children. The women are the ones that give birth to the next generations to continue the bloodlines. So the evil, sinister side of this is if you take away, oh God, this has been feeling awful for days, just getting this as well. If you remove the females who can't bear the next generation, children into the next generation for a period of time, well, then the bloodlines end, don't they? So then there's nobody to give the land back to because the men can't give birth. But it's to do with the bloodlines. Like, it's not like it's within the Native American community. Like, it's not like a mix. It's not like it has to be pure blood, like a pure bloodline. That's who the land belongs to. So when you think about the sort of the Hopis and the Cherokee and, you know, all of the tribes, the bloodline has to be pure tribal bloodline, not multi-mixed, right? Because it's like it's almost like if they mix that would, what's the word? Try me on my tongue. That would forfeit the land. It has to be part of the true bloodlines of the Native Americans. So in order for them to gain their land back, they had to keep within the true bloodline tribes. Gotta hope this is making sense. And as the time is getting closer to them gaining back their land, the women are going missing. Women that can't give birth to continue the bloodlines. If people really believe that this sort of thing doesn't happen, like people can't be this evil, you need to have a major reality check on life, and you need a full education on just how evil human beings have been for thousands of years. And you've got to remember, I'm not talking just like from 17th century ancestors. I'm talking about their ancestors from thousands of years ago. Now, when the treaties come into play, it's like a treaty came into play in the 1700s, maybe even the late 1600s. But they had to sacrifice for their bloodlines to continue and live. They had to sacrifice the land. Well, I don't think they had a choice back then anyway. But then it was like there was a treaty. It's like there was a... No, I don't know if I'm disclosing secret heritage, Native American heritage, but that's not near or there right now, because if this is the higher order, is bringing this to the table, literally, then there's a concern within the bloodlines, because how can you continue bloodlines if you're removing the people that give birth to the bloodlines? If Native American women are going missing. And oh God, it's heavy. And it almost feels like even the men are worried. But then the new generations, the younger generations, are not being educated. Well, they're being educated by their their ancestors, their heritage and history and everything. But it's almost like they've all also been programmed by the evil, disgusting matrix system too. Like what everybody else, the whole. So they don't protect the women properly the way they should, like they did back in the day. The women were treated as goddesses because they knew how important their women truly were. Like they could pretty much rule the roost. I don't know whether that still happens today, but it's almost like they're not taken care of or protected the way they once were. And I think that's what needs to be re-educated or reinstalled immediately into the tribes, because if this is what's really happening, and this is to do with land treaties and they can't gain the land back if there's no bloodlines to continue, true bloodlines. And I don't know how they can, well, they would prove it, but that's their business. So that could be one of the main reasons as to why a high influxation of Native American women from probably all different tribes over, I would say, probably, it feels like since the 1960s, like more, like it's like a high. I mean, I know women go missing all over the place every day, right? We know that. But these tribes are not as big as they once were. And many of them venture out into normal, into society and stuff, and they move away from their sort of heritage and their, but it feels something feels wrong about it. And it's almost like the evil within the evil ones, right? In like who've controlled and evil white men, right? But you've got to remember this was done by white men back then, right? That stole the land. I'm not saying that's what happened. That's not what I'm saying about today. I'm talking about history. So, see, again, when you go back to that, white men came in the name of God to take the gold, the land. They came in the name of God, stole the land from the people, and used God as an alibi. And it's almost like, but there was some sort of weird treaty. Like there was a promise to give back the land after a period of time, certain period of time, as long as the blood is pure and oh, that's weird. Because I've never heard of anything like this before. But in order to, but because these white men, obviously through their bloodlines continuing, and you got to remember these bloodlines are part of the cabal system and everything, the evil, twisted system, right? Organizations and everything, they're part of those bloodlines. And their ancestors stole the land in the first place, right? So, yeah, of course, it's in their interest to make sure these bloodlines clearly don't continue, so they can keep the land that they're stolen, well, their ancestors stole in the first place. Wow. So I'm not sure. I think that's what I feel. This is what I'm feeling from the highest order, is this is one of the main possibilities. Again, you need the females in the bloodlines to birth the next generation. It's really sad. If this is what's happened and happening and been happening, this is just incredibly sad. I mean, look at, you only have to understand, just in the Western society of all these elite families and crap, right? They are land grabbers for a reason. Been grabbing land for God knows how long, all over the world, right? Especially in Europe and here in the States. These bloodlines have been grabbing land so they can sell to the developers. Land that don't even technically belong to them. But they're not going to admit that, are they? God, no. So I'm not sure if this helps with, I'm not even sure, just by what I'm feeling, is it, they could have already, you know, a lot of these tribes may have been thinking like, or maybe they know, like, this is what, one of the reasons why their women keep going missing. Maybe they're like, well, how can we prove that? How can we put, you know, bring that theory to the table without, because you can't prove it unless you investigate it. But then you would have to know if such a treaty was actually existed. But higher order is not going to bring it. It's this sort of intelligence, intuitive intelligence to the table, and there's something there that needs to be looked into and researched. And then, if there is such a treaty that exists, that needs to get absolutely ripped to pieces, because it's disgusting. Especially if if this is what they've been doing to hold on to the land now. Because we're getting closer to time point where we've got to give it all back, and then what? We lose everything. What we've built and developed. It's not, we've built it on land that didn't belong to us, that we was only allowed to keep for a certain period of time. Oh my. So that's just on what I'm going to do over the next. Oh God, it feels horrible. It feels wrong. Like, not wrong because it's bad enough that women go missing, you know, like, and all missing people, men and women. But because I'm focused on this, it's like, it's bad enough that every day women go missing, but to have a reason, some sort of reason like this for why these women had to go missing, for a different reason to just everyday normal. Oh God, that just tells me that it's almost, you know, I'm feeling, oh God. It's like I don't know what it's like to be on a reservation. I don't know what the communities are like. I don't know and I'm assuming that they have their own I believe they have their own like sheriffs and stuff like that. So maybe they have their own laws and their culture and everything. But I don't know if they like. Why am I feeling like if you leave the reservation, like if you're not safe? What does that mean? Like you're only safe in the reservation because we have our own safety. I don't know. And then it's feeling like, at the moment, some of the women maybe had to leave the reservation for work or anything. It's like, then it's like there's a boundary line, like there's the reservations in this civil world, like the moment they come off their safer as if then they enter and then they're not safe and then they're taken, which means people that are watching. Oh my God, that's getting too dark. That's really bad. So, but I'm going to connect to the higher order over the coming weeks and just see if I can get more information. I don't want to focus too much tonight because it's feeling quite dark, but that's what I feel like has been coming through for the last, because I've been focusing on these sort of Indigenous women and these Native American women, and it's weird as well because because the higher order is not saying Indigenous women, they're talking about Native American women. So there's a reason for that too, why they, and again, I don't want to really go into why that would be, but that's what I'm hearing, so that's what I'm going with. So, but if I get anything else regards to that, I'll obviously do another update video. But I don't want to focus anymore because it's getting a bit too dark and I don't want to, so let me just quickly pull out of that energy. Because yeah, like I say, I was focusing on these missing women, and then it was like the higher order came in and said, not the way you think. And like, what? And then it's like, oh, there we go. And then it went dark. But then I feel like it's been something to do with this land. So I'm going to close this energy out right now and hopefully close this session out at 6:36 p.m. Close out 6:36. So, hello to everybody that came in. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for popping in and watching. Watch this space. If you like my content the way I do, my authenticity, my weirdness, and a little like it would be great. You can say you can share the videos and all that beautiful stuff. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. And if you are, thank you for subscribing. That's amazing. I'm seeing my subscribers going up. It's great. I'm going viral next year. Right. So, and like I say, if you don't know that much about me, you can go to my different playlists. I do different playlists for different reasons, and my website only. I only interact in two places. It's one YouTube channel only, no other social media platform or anything. One YouTube channel, multiple playlists, and if you can interact this way when I go live, or my website has a little chat service there, so you can interact with me there. But other than that, I'm not on any other social media platform at all, and I don't have multiple YouTube channels, just this one YouTube channel. So if you sort of see me anywhere else, or you think you're interacting with me, that's not me. So please don't get scammed. Please don't get catfish. Please don't give anybody money for anything that is not either here directly from my website. And I won't really be asking you for money anyway. I have a pay it forward service that helps other people, but that's entirely up to you. I'm not going to be telling you to part with your money and you can give me your super thanks. That's entirely up to you guys and gals. But if you're having to do any of that anywhere else on a completely different YouTube channel or on a social media page, that is not me. That money is not coming to me. Please don't get scammed or anything like that. And nobody works for me. Nobody is affiliated with me. Nobody does anything for me. So if they claim to be with me working for me, they're liars. And if you're not sure, or if you've come across me somewhere else and they're just using my videos and trying to scam you people, go to my website, drkaramikowski.com. I'll put all the information in the description box below, and then you can send me a message directly. Like, this is the site I've been interacting with you on, apparently. Is that you? I'm going to say immediately, if it's not this one YouTube channel on my website, absolutely not. So, and there's other reasons why people will use other people's videos and people like me to assassinate characters and, make them look like they're not good. No, I don't care about those evil, twisted people. This is where you interact with me. I can't stop people from doing what they do, right? But it's not. I can't do anything about that. People can report them, and you can let me know, but they're going to do it anyway because most of them are talentless thieves. That's what they do. So we can only do what we do and just let you know this is to keep you safe online. That's it. So other than that, take care. Wherever you are in the world, have a great morning, great afternoon, great evening, and I will see you all again very soon. Ciao, ciao.